Yes, I got rid of the smartphone, and I think you ought to as well. You know, if you're new to the studio, my name is Garrett. I'm a Catholic creative and artist. I've spent the last 10, 12 years helping people and myself cultivate their creativity, become better artists, become better human beings. I've coached professionals for years on how to do things like self-care and take care of yourself. And every single year that I work with new teachers, new people, new students, every year I find the same issue comes up again and again, and that's the cell phone. And I find that to be a problem in my own life. Like, I keep reaching for the cell phone when I'm having a bad day, when I'm having a negative thought, and you're probably in a similar situation. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about why I went to a dumb phone, the pros, the cons, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll tell you which phone I went with, and why I chose it, and why I think it's a good phone to use since we need cellular communication in today's world. You know, the biggest issue for me with cell phones is not that they're a trap, not that they're designed to suck away our mental abilities, not that they're designed to be a constant and perpetual dopamine drip that takes away from our attention. The issue for cell phones is me. The issue for cell phones is the way I use it to self-soothe all my problems. You know, if I'm feeling down about the art that I'm making, if I post a YouTube video and I don't get enough views, I reach for my phone so that I can check text message, so that I can check phone calls, so I can check Signal, so I can do whatever it is I feel like I need to do in order to feel better about myself in the moment. Now, a lot of that's my problem. A lot of that is the way the smartphone is designed. You know, I just got to a point where I was tired of giving up my own attention to a device. And this is not the first time that I've gone from smartphone to dumb phone. I've done this once before. And the reason I quit the first time was because my employer, my day-to-day job, requires me to use a smart device in order to log in to my work computer. And that's frustrating as crap. But it's required. However, this time around, I dug my dumb phone out of the box, and I found a way to circumnavigate this smart device requirement. Now, I still do the thing, and I'm still safe and all the stuff, but I went back to my dumb phone. And the reason I went back to my dumb phone is I know that if I will deal with my internal crap, if I will deal with the stuff that I'm wrestling with, and if I will do the work to become a better person, I don't need to reach for my phone. And I'm tired of, like, I could be sitting and doodling. I could be painting. I could be prepping my next project. I could be getting prepared for my next YouTube video. There's so many different things that I could be doing instead of reaching for my stupid phone. And I'll tell you, man, it feels great. It really does. I'll do a video later on. You know, I've 10,000 days with the dumb phone, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But already I can tell the difference. Not because my internal behaviors are better, but because now I notice my internal behaviors. You know, I had multiple people reach out to commission an icon, and I sent them all the iconography information. Here's what it looks like to commission an icon. Here's how much it's gonna cost, all that stuff. Not one person replied, yes, I wanna buy your art. And I have those negative thoughts. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe my work's not good enough. Maybe they don't want my stuff. And instead of processing those thoughts, I reach for my phone. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to deal with my stuff and move on and be a better artist. And I think maybe you probably feel the same way. You know, we have been trained to use these devices as mechanisms for distraction, not from the world around us, but for the world in us. So I got rid of my dumb phone. I got rid of my smartphone and picked up a dumb phone. The pros to that are I have way more mental capacity because I'm turning my attention to the work I need to be making instead of how many texts did I get today? Has anybody, you know, commented on what are all the things? You know what the things are. And instead of doing that, I'm looking at the work I have before me and going, okay, I need to work on this painting for a little bit. I need to do this administrative work. I need to create this thing for that project. And my creativity is quickly, like J-curve quickly, coming back. You know, the difficulties, here in a little while I'm gonna have to travel to some different places that I'm gonna need maps, and I haven't exactly figured out what I'm gonna do for that yet. I also like podcasts, but instead of listening to a lot of podcasts while I'm driving, I went and bought CDs. You know, like the discs that play music. I went and bought those, and I listened to just some classic old music, because that's what I like. And I listen to podcasts when I'm sitting and painting, and I'm listening to podcasts when I have the opportunity when I'm at home and it doesn't require the use of a phone. Because I know for myself, if an addictive thing is in my presence, I will use the addictive thing. It's just the way I'm wired. So the best thing for me, and probably the best thing for you, is to get rid of the addictive thing. And for me, that's my phone. So it's gone. No more smartphone at all, period. The difficulties, the one difficulty that I still wrestle with is texting my wife. If you've never used a dumb phone before, and I mean like a dumb phone, not one of the iPhone looking ghost phone dumb phones, not one of those. I'm talking about like old school with the 3-letter number, you know. It's hard to text my wife with that. One time I actually sat down and for 10 minutes I wrote out, you know, 5554433222111. I did all that and I wrote a long text message to my wife, and the first reply I got back was, "Wow, I'm so honored you took the time to type that text." So now we've come up with code, you know, and we text each other code for the things we want to communicate because it's just simpler. And I love that. It's actually one of the things that I find quite endearing about our marriage. But that's the cool thing about going to a dumb phone. It actually will increase your creativity because you have to find creative ways around these problems that having a dumb phone creates. And it's beautiful. So I love it. I'm really trying to go back to an analog life. Paper and pen, old school watch, dumb phone, all the things. It's just better. And I'm willing to bet it's better for you too. And if you want to, if you're a creative out there and you want to increase your creative potential and your creative output, get rid of your phone. Go to a dumb phone. It will be glorious. Now, if you've made it this far, I appreciate that very much. Thank you for staying with me. Let's talk about the phone that I chose. So I went with the Nokia 2780, and it is, look at that, it's beautiful. It flips, it opens, it does the things. I wanted a flip phone. One of my first phones when I was a kid, well, not a kid, I was in college actually. One of my first phones was a flip phone, and I love it. It's like beam me up, Scotty, boop, 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 you know? And I love that. It's wonderful. I love the flip phone. Now, the cool thing about this, you got the giant numbers, it's easy to text. All it does is text and make phone calls. There's some other features in there, but I haven't even explored those because I don't want to explore them. All I want to do is be able to call people. And that's the other upside to a dumb phone. It actually forces conversation because it sucks to text. And if I want to talk to somebody, instead of texting them, I make a phone call. And hopefully people are starting to figure out that I would rather receive a phone call than a text. It's awesome. Now, the other beauty to this little gem right here is it cost 80 bucks. That's it. Now, that was a year and a half ago maybe. So they might be a little bit more expensive now with inflation and all that stuff. But still, you know, a new iPhone today is like $600. I would rather spend $520 on art supplies and journals and backpacks and other things and just spend $80 on my dumb phone. It's beautiful. And if this thing breaks, I don't feel bad about it. I'll go spend the $80 and get another one. No big deal. So there's other dumb phones out there. There's lots of videos on YouTube about, you know, switching to a dumb phone. Different options, different models. I think they're all good. I wanted this one because of the price point. I wanted a flip phone, and the reviews on this thing were spectacular. So that's the phone I go with. I love taking my life back from technology. I love being intentional about the way I spend my time. And I love the fact that this thing does not take from what's going on in here, so that I can put all my creativity on paper and panel and brush. And that's what I love. And it's so good. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you want to know more about my work and the art that I'm making, go check out my website, GarrettHeinz.com. Like, subscribe, do all the things. And until next time, keep climbing.